Good morning, traders. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood, eh? Yeah, guys. So let's see what's going on here this morning on this beautiful January 23rd, 2019. Um, it's looking slow right now. Again, it is early. I always start this live very early, so a lot of you won't catch it. A lot of you'll just catch it when you wake up. Or some of you work, or some of them, some of you have businesses and things that you're obligated to do, and then you'll just get to it when you can get to it, which that's cool too. uh, but anyway, for the most part, the time that I stream, at you know 7:45 a.m., usually a lot not going on. It may be a couple, like two or three, that's starting to go, that'll kind of give you an idea that how the day is going to go. A couple stocks that's starting to take off with not a lot of volume, but like maybe 100,000 shares traded. But right now we're not seeing that. The highest volume play within my criteria is the APHA, which is here. But the float is well over 200 million shares, 249 million, or you might well say 250 million shares to be exact. Um, so that what does that usually tell you? That means it's not gonna move much. It'll move, and then it can move, but it takes a lot to move it. Usually, that's what that means. It's been times where I saw 100, 200 million share float stock move almost like a 10 million, 20 million share stock. So you just really never can tell. It was one recently. Let me see. I think it was UXIN, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, UXIN, right? Now the share size on UXIN, when I saw it, I actually saw it when it started to take off, on the day that it took off. I forget the day, but this one has over 300 million shares. However, if you look back on, it started its push on December 6th. Now you take a look here. In one day, this thing jumped up from a low of 320, and it got all the way up to 490. So it made over $1 move. And then on its peak day, where it hit the high, where it had the largest range, it went from it had a low of 616 and got all the way up to $9, $8.99. So that's almost $3 in one day. You see, and I actually saw this stock when it started to take off. The only reason I didn't jump in is because of old beliefs and things that were taught that said that a higher float, real high float, usually doesn't behave like a smaller float stock, and normally that is the case. But I don't know what happened. They opened up the floodgates on these days, because as you see, though, this stock here, it moved just like a 20 million share float stock, or a 100 million. I mean, I'm sorry, or 10 million share float stock. But yet it's 300 million shares. But it moved over $1 this day, and it moved almost $3 this day in one day. So the point I'm making is, you never know, man. So right now APHA, it has a little less than this stock. It has 249 million shares. Then and UXIN had 300 million. So hey, what does that mean? It could possibly move like it, I guess. But anyway, right now that's the top, most active within the $10 range. I only go up to $10 right now, while my equity is here at 600. Being that if you go, the higher you go, the less shares I could take, and I don't want to get in a position where you see a $20 stock moving and I can only get 100 shares. And 100 shares is nothing. If you get 100 shares, you need for a stock to go a dollar, a whole dollar, for you to make $100. If a stock moves 50 cents, you make $50. And that's just a lot a huge move you will need just to make a small profit. And in between that dollar move that it might make for you, it's gonna be whipping around and going down and going around. And by the time you make that dollar, it could be an hour later or something like that. It could be before that, but I'm just exaggerating. So anyway, nah, you just don't want to play those. If you have to play 100 shares, let that be long term, a long term stock, where you're dropping 100 shares in there and you're swinging it, or either you're long terming it. But for day trading 100 shares, unless you find a highly volatile stock that's like a super low float, 5 million share, 2 million share that's moving exponentially, then you'll do that. But otherwise, no, stay away from it. Next down the list here, let's see. And all of these stocks that I'm showing you is all super high float, so these are not in play for me. But I had the scanner set down to a lower float size, but it just wasn't anything really popping up. So let me go ahead and take it down to a smaller, and let's see what comes up. So in the smaller side, you have LG PC. The only news that it has looks like is a price target cut. It was actually cut from $18 down to $9 a share. That's by J.P. Morgan. That's a pretty reputable company, as we all know. But yet it's still going up, so you just never know. So anyway, but that's only with 5,000 shares traded. The volume on it is only 5,300 shares. That's not enough to do anything with. So anyway, I'm gonna make this video short and sweet because it really, I'll just be dragging it along if I were to just keep going on, and there's nothing here to show. Now, yesterday, I did my pre-market watch, and I noticed like 2 minutes after I ended it, um, STAF popped up. So when I did the pre-market watch, at that time STAF was nowhere in sight. It hadn't started taking off or anything, so it did not even make my list. However, once I closed out the live stream, then like 2 minutes later, STAF popped up on a high day scanner. So what I'm saying, and I say that to say this, is it could be some things pop up right after I close this out. So be aware of that. But as of right now, as I have this open, there is nothing really in play before the bell. This is gonna be one of those days where you just have to sit on your hands and just wait it out. You know, wait it out. You may have to wait till after the bell, and you just wait for your opportunities to find your to find you. You find opportunity, but you have to wait for the opportunity to set up and present itself. You know, I'm gonna get ready to get off, but I'm gonna give you an example. I akin it to fishing. Honestly, I do use fishing a lot as an analogy for the stock market. Why? Is because it takes most of the same techniques and strategies. You have to be patient. That's in fishing, just as well in fishing as it is in the market. You have to be patient. Now I have two comparisons of the types of people in the market, and then the type of fishing. All right, you have your traditional fisher, which is the one you have to just sit back and wait. So say you have a pattern, and say the stock is, let me try to find something a little more active here. Say the stock is, I'll just start here. Say the stock is looking like this right now. It's just not, it's trending up, but it's not meeting your pattern. So now you have to wait. It's just like fishing. You can't force it now. So now look, you maybe your strategy was to find a double bottom. Even though this is not the perfect example, it was like a fat finger thing here. But anyway, just gonna use this. All right. So now here's your double bottom. Here's your double bottom. Now you waited on it. Now you got your hook set out, and now the fish, it came down. Here's your hook. The fish hit your hook. Now you hook onto it. And now you just ride it, and then you get out, you take it out. You take the fish out of the water. meaning taking your profits. Um, and then now you got the second type, which is what I call the spearfisher. The spearfisher is the one that is a little more active. They're not so much passive as they are active. They are the ones that, yes, they do kind of wait on their strategy, but then again, they pounce on things a little quicker and a little more frequently than the traditional fisher and a traditional trader. So the spearfisher takes a more of an active approach. So spearfishers are ones more like, scalpers, people who scalp and looking for just quick opportunities, just like a spearfisher. They don't wait for the fish to come on the hook. They go in the water and they find the fish and spear them. So that's the two type. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of your way here, guys. I will make a video if I make a trade today, or if I make a couple trades. I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna upload it today. So that's the new thing now. I'm gonna start uploading it on the same day. Today I do have time. Um, Yesterday I had to wait around the house all day, and the delivery man finally delivered our package at way at the end of the day. So I literally had to be here all day. They delivered it like 7 o'clock, 6:55 in the afternoon, at night rather. I'm gonna call it night because it was dark. Yeah, and I'm like, really, you guys? I mean, I could have just picked it up from the facility if that was the case. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I had to be here yesterday, but today I should be here. I'm gonna be in and out. Um, Gonna be in and out. So I'll try to get that video up if I make a trade. If I don't make any trade, I won't. I won't post a video. I'll just, you'll know if I don't post a trade, then you'll know that I didn't make any trades. Alright, guys, so I'm just going to sit tight on my hands. You guys can do the same. Wait till opportunity presents itself. Don't go, what they say, don't go chasing waterfalls out here, guys. I've done it before. I've done it out of boredom. Actually, I did it yesterday with the T. I know better than to take this trade yesterday. Because, for one, it was at the 200. The daily 200. That's a major resistance. I don't care what stock you're playing. That usually, as you can see, that is a major resistance. The green line here is the 200 day, and I knew better than that. I don't know what I was thinking. I went long. That was just a boredom play. As I said, chasing waterfalls. You can't go out here chasing waterfalls, man. You have to make sure it is what it is, man. It's what it is. It's your strategy, and that's the end of that. All right, guys. I'll see you later.